All right, we're looking at Unit 9 Lesson 5 homework, and question number 1 says, prove that ABCD in the image below is a rhombus. So if it is a rhombus, first of all, we know that a rhombus is a type of parallelogram, so the first thing I would have to do is prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. Now we've talked a lot about how to do that, and that's to prove that opposite sides are parallel. So you're going to go ahead and do your whole parallelogram proof first. And if you don't know how to do that, please look it up in your examples or your notes. Parallelogram. Okay, I don't know why that just switched in the middle of writing, but that's okay. The next thing I need to do to prove that it's a rhombus is to show that consecutive sides are congruent. And so I'm just going to, let's say, find the length of side AD. Well, since AD is a horizontal line, I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The length of AD is 5. And then I want to find a consecutive side, so either AB or DC. I'm going to go with AB. So to find the length of AB, since it's slanted, I'm going to draw in a right triangle and use the Pythagorean theorem to get the length of AB. So AB would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 squared plus 1, 2, 3, 3 squared equals the hypotenuse, or AB squared. And so hopefully you know by now that this is a Pythagorean triple. 16 plus 9 equals C squared, or 25 equals C squared. So C equals the square root of 25, and C is therefore 5. 3, 4, 5 right triangle, that's Pythagorean triple, so we already know that this is 5. So the length of AB is also 5. Once I've shown that two consecutive sides have the same length, I'm going to write a quick conclusion statement saying AD is congruent to AB, because they have the same length, and then I'll write my final statement saying that ABCD is a rhombus. ABCD is a rhombus, and we have to say why, and that's because it is a parallelogram, and we can use a symbol for parallelogram but no other quadrilateral. Is a parallelogram because it is a parallelogram with congruent sides. And that's enough for that one. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at number 2. So I'm not going to do number 2 for you, but to prove that something is a square, you need to first prove it's a parallelogram. And then it would also have to be a rectangle and a rhombus. And so a parallelogram that's also a rectangle has right angles, so you're going to show that there's right angles. And it has to be a rhombus, and so a rhombus has congruent sides, so you're going to show that there are congruent sides just like we did above. Alright, so to do parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. To do right angles, negative reciprocal slopes for two consecutive sides. And then to do congruent sides, you're going to have to find the length, and that may involve doing Pythagorean theorem. And that's it.